The committee put their heads together and they started their own thing.
Hey y'all, it's Izzy Harrison and you're tapping in with the committee.
What's up guys, this is Azrae Stevens and you're tapping in with the committee.
Big shout out to the committee. Y'all hold it down for us.
Shout out to the committee. Who are rocking with the committee? The committee. We committee.
Some people ain't gonna like it, and some people will.
I feel like it's been forever. Hey y'all.
It's so hard. Wait, no, we're not saying goodbye. We're saying hello.
Literally.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It has been a long. You're right, Liana. It has been what?
Wow.
Well, it don't matter who's counting, not us. We are here. Oh, hey, Isha, welcome back. Yeah, I know. But I heard the city, but looking for me. Here we go. Here we go.
We should have played. Everybody told us we wasn't doing what we needed to do. Everybody told us we was slacking.
Right, y'all was on our ass.
And was.
Oh my God! I was just thinking about y'all. Where y'all been? Life has been life, and we've been here, we've been around, but we're back now. We're back, and we're excited to join you all in the midst of this amazing Wnba playoffs. Like we've watched some great hoops over the past 2 weeks or so. I guess really been some good basketball, and so I guess so far
I'd even say even before the playoffs, because all the teams fighting to get into the playoffs the season ended, in my opinion, very well. Like down to the end of the season, we were still trying to figure out seeding, who was playing who, stuff like that. So
because the last 6 through 8 wasn't decided until the final game, right?
Nope.
Yeah, Mystics made it until like the last 2-3 games of the season.
And then Golden State was jumping from 6 to 8, and nobody knew where Seattle was going to land, and Indiana. So it was fun.
Basketball is alive and well. We got about another 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks or so of the season, and then after the finals, we prep for college hoops, and that's going to be an amazing time. Should be. So I guess we're going to address the series that's upon. Well, if you haven't been paying attention, let's briefly go through the first round series. So 1 versus 8 was Minnesota and Golden State. What were some of your takeaways from there?
It was fun. I thought that Minnesota handled business the way they should have. I think that Golden State put up a really good fight. Just in general, off of the first round, even if we're not just talking about Minnesota and Golden State, I've enjoyed the 1-1-1. I think the 1-1-1 has been great. However, I don't like the travel aspect of it. I think that they might have jumped the gun with it a little too early. Like, I do want them to split back into Western and Eastern Conference so the travel isn't too crazy, because I do think like New York to Phoenix for a 1-1-1, that's a lot. Like, that really is a lot on the body and everything. So I like the setup. Like, I think the energy was amazing for the 1-1-1 series, but I want them to split back into Eastern and Western if they are going to keep doing that moving forward. So at least the girls can not have to take a flight across the country in order to, do it.
Yeah, because only how many were cross country? Let's see. Vegas had to go to Seattle. Atlanta had to go to Indy. New York. I think New York's was probably the worst. New York had to go to
probably the longest. And then I guess you can say Minnesota and Golden State. I mean, Minnesota is more middle, but I mean, still flying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so now we had Indiana defeat Atlanta. Vegas did defeat Seattle in 3 games. All but one series went to 3 games. And
yes, it is.
And so the Lynx advanced in 2 games, Vegas advanced in 3, Indy advanced in 3, and Phoenix also advanced in 3. So that brings us to currently where we are, the semifinals. We have the Phoenix Mercury versus the Minnesota Lynx. And we have, after today, after the game earlier today, game 5 of the Aces in Indiana Fever Series. So let's go ahead and address this game that we just watched about an hour or so ago after it concluded, what we saw in that series and some thoughts of changes and what could happen in game 5.
Somebody said a new piano. Okay, y'all
There you are, Etsy.
don't hate me, Vegas fans, because y'all know I'm a Vegas fan too. But I simply cannot be upset at the refs right now. Was the foul count ridiculous? Yes. The free throw discrepancy insane? Yes. But Vegas still had pieces, and I like it. Just Vegas could have still won this game. They did everything in their power to lose this game, and that's what frustrates me more than the free throws. Like there was a moment in the fourth quarter where Vegas did what they needed to do to get within two. Aaliyah wasn't even back in the game yet, and there was a stretch where Vegas simply could not get over the hump. And at this time, Indiana's struggling to score themselves. You come down, Asia's gone on a mini run on her own, and Dana takes a three, an ill-advised three, while Asia has Brianna Turner pinned on her back. Indiana comes down, misses. Come back down, Asia dribbled the ball off her foot. Like, huh? Like, and Indiana still can't score. You come back down, Jackie attacks the rim. Nalissa has made this corner shot all series. Like, that has been her bread and butter all series. And instead of taking a wide open corner mid-range shot, you dribble on the baseline with nowhere to go. And then you launch the ball back towards Chelsea, which leads to a fast break for Odyssey Sims. Chelsea fouls. Boom. Indiana shoots free throws. Now you back down 4. Like, it just, they had chances. Like, even with the free throw discrepancy in the third quarter, you're still down 2. You still doing what you need to do. But then you come in the fourth quarter and you just be on straight bullshit. Like, just terrible clown car hoops. And for a veteran-led team to see Jewel play like that, Chelsea play like that, and you're trying to close out a game 4, that's what frustrates me more than anything the refs did today. Like, the refs were the refs, but the fact that you had a chance and you just kept doing bullshit, including Becky, because her rotations were terrible. Like, no.
Yeah. All right. So we do have a game 5. Oh, Shay.
Oh no, I ain't see the game, but God bless. I mean, it's hard to close out a team like that. At home. Like, regardless, it's just gonna be hard.
Is Jewel leash too long or is Dana leash too short? Jewel leash is too long. It's way too long. Because it's just too long. Because even if you don't want to put Dana in, you can maybe put somebody else in. I know there's not a lot of depth on the team, but Jewel played 32 minutes. I didn't even realize she was playing that long. But Jewel played 32 minutes and gave you nothing on defense besides that little pat out rebound that she did. That was the only good thing she did on the defensive end. And then she gave you 6 points, which were like 2 threes in the first quarter. And that's it. That's all she gave, literally. So her leash is way too long.
So we do know that, like you mentioned, this is a team that's been hungry. They have been calling themselves resilient, in the words of Sophie Cunningham. They hate that we're here. We're not supposed to be here. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I mean, they are the media darlings, one of the media darlings. But either way, they're down without quite a few of their really important players. All right, some of their starters and main contributors, and so it's quite interesting to see them still in this space fighting. So hats out to them.
But it's not for me. And I actually let's address that. I don't think it is shocking. Why? Because
I don't think it's shocking, but I don't think a lot of people had them there because it's without who.
But I thought it would be a battle, and here's why. I think that one, people ignore the fact that what Shea Petty and Odyssey Sims brings to that team. Shea Petty and Odyssey Sims are vets. Were they out of the league? Yes. But I think with Odyssey is politics, because every time Odyssey joins a team, she be hooping. She turned that team around every single time. It never fails. And Shea Petty, knockdown 3-point shooter. She hasn't done it so much this series, but she's always been an energizer, a defender, stuff like that. And sometimes just having those high IQ players are enough. And when you put them around somebody like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, I was like, even before they got into the series, me and my sister was talking about it, and I was like, this could be a good series. Why? Because now Indiana is more athletic. I think sometimes when you play Indiana and their 3 guards are no shade, and I know this is gonna give off whatever it gives off, but when you play Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi as a guard who can, create their own bucket, you're not worried about that because I'm finna get past you. I'm not worried about that. But now you got guards that can match athleticism for athleticism on the perimeter. So defensive wise, yes, Indiana's lost some great players, but defensively, I think they got better. I think Indiana got better defensively with who they brought in because now they got athletic guards. And so I'm not shocked. Like, I think they're like, you got players who are blowing past Chelsea, right? Like Sophie Cunningham wasn't blowing past players that, she's a kick the ball out to me so I can shoot the 3. She's not trying to get to the rim. Odyssey is. Like, it's a different type of approach now with them. So I'm not shocked.
Okay, that's fair. So they advance to a game 5 that's Tuesday. It's winner take all. Vegas will either stay home. Well, either way, they'll be staying home. If they win, they stay home. And then the Indiana is either they go
broken down, but
they go broken down and go home. And Cancun for them on 3. So somebody's going to Cancun.
Listen, but shout out to Aaliyah. Aaliyah had a great game. I'm not even gonna. I know everybody said the free throws in the third quarter. Some of the fouls were questionable. I'm not gonna hold you. Some of the fouls were questionable as fuck. But I mean, I always say, like, as a player, you just gonna take what the refs give you. If the refs are giving you that, you're gonna keep doing it. Like, you'd be dumb not to. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, those aren't fouls, so let me step out because I don't want the other team to get in foul trouble. No, if they calling that shit, I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so Aaliyah took advantage of what was being called, and she did what she needed to do. And even if you take the free throws out the third quarter, I think Aaliyah still hooped because there was a moment where I literally, I like audibly gasped and then I laughed because Asia went straight at Aaliyah. Boom, boom. Asia got the bucket and she turned and she was like, and one. And Aaliyah came down and bodied her. Like, I'm talking, Asia bounced off her. Aaliyah made her little spin move, layup, and she looked at Asia and said, and one. And I was like,
this is why you have to have good post players. Like, post players, like that. I love good guard play. I think both are important. I'm not going to say one's more valued over the other, guard play versus post players, but this is why we should not put so much emphasis on this position in basketball, because when you can get two amazing, and this is no bias because they're both Gamecocks, none at all, but when you could get you good post play, like that can really determine a game. And so, if Vegas wins, depending on how tonight's game go, they'll have home court advantage. Either way, if if Indiana wins, they won't play until they won't host until games 3 and 4. So that's for that series. Next, we're going to go to a series that's been fun but dampered depending on which team you're a fan of. The the Phoenix Mercury versus the Minnesota Lynx. The Mercury currently lead 2-1, and the Minnesota Lynx are without their MVP candidate, arguably their best player, Nafisa Collier. We all saw the play. We all saw what transpired after the play in regards to ejections, technical free throws, etc. And so what do you think about that series that will be starting in just over a half hour?
I mean, the series has been great. Cheryl deserved that suspension and I'm very shocked at some of the responses that I've seen to the suspension of, like, Cheryl has talked about the refs before and never has been suspended. And I'm just like, are we ignoring everything she did on the court? Like, Cheryl was cutting up. She was ejected and still was on the court for at least a smooth 2 minutes. And then when she got off the court, she was cussing at the fans on the way out. Like, you can't let that slide. It has nothing to like. Yeah, the comments she made in the post game presser definitely pushed more towards the suspension, but I mean, there was no way she was going to do all that and not get suspended. And then on top of that, I saw some people being like, well, the suspension should be for next season. What? Like, huh? That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, in what world would it make sense for Cheryl to be suspended for next season when she literally has a game today? Like, that's stupid. And it sets a terrible precedence. You can literally be like, all right, coaches, you know, do whatever fuck you want to do during the playoffs, but we're not going to suspend you for the playoffs because it's the playoffs. We'll just suspend you for the first game of the season next year when that really doesn't matter at all. Like, nobody cares about that shit. Like, coaches will probably, you know, they'll extend their leash a little bit more. Like, all right, cool. You want to suspend me? That's fine, but it'll be next season. So I don't give a fuck, you know? So, yeah. But
do you understand how people would carry on if they knew the suspension wouldn't happen until the next year, bro? Exactly. I'd be in that bitch and with a motherfucker in a headlock, like, give me the rebound.
Like, you mean to tell me I can do whatever I want and you gonna suspend me for maybe, like, shit, I might run it up to 5 suspensions and I'll see y'all 5 games into the season.
Imagine AT being like, wait, hold on. I can only get suspended for the next season.
Look at her chops.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I'm sad for Fee because, like, man, if you told me this is how this season would, like, I don't know if end is the word, but like if this is where they would be after how they started the year, I wouldn't believe you. Yeah, like it sucks bad, and nobody wants to see injuries. And like that replay, bro, like the knee was one thing, but her ankle touched the ground.
It looks like what's the Celtics guy? Only thing not Horford, Gordon. The only thing no bone expelled from his body, whatever. And
thank God.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting how that took place. But
I hate it for her. I'm praying for her. I like Shay said, it's not something you want to see for any player, let alone your star player. She fought hard to get back from an injury already, and so to make it this far, your team's playing well, and then now you got to watch a closeout game on the sideline versus a very formidable opponent. Not saying, you know, Minnesota can't do it without her, but you as a competitor, you want to be out there. Like, this is
because they have done it.
Yeah, this is the moments you train for. This is the moments you live for. So it sucks. I hate that for her.
I think that it's definitely going to be a physical game. Who do we see? Y'all, I'm so sorry. Give me 1 minute. I'm so sorry. Okay. Who do we see being the X factor for tonight's game?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Natisha Heidemann. I think that she's been, like, I want to say to start the playoffs in the Golden State series, she had like 20-something points a game. And then in one of the games in Phoenix, she didn't even score a point. I think she took like maybe one shot. But I think if she can get going, it opens up a lot of things for them. And she's a big energy player. So her scoring, I think, is vital because her speed is sometimes hard to stay in front of. And I don't think Phoenix has somebody who can really stay in front of her. So if she can be efficient and aggressive on offense, that'll be huge.
Yeah, interjecting, sorry, just because, Annie did give an update. She did not suffer a fracture, according to the Lynx. So they'll go through further evaluation to determine what's next. But thank God it's not broken, at least. Because that's what Cheryl said right after.
Cheryl was being extra because I was like, I mean, the game just ended. There's no way that girl has a fracture in her ankle. Right. Like, please.
But I agree. I think Heidemann. I also think they need something from Jess Shepard.
Yeah.
Like, especially with Fee is going to be out, Shepard is going to have to, like, she wasn't it her that had a triple-double against Indiana?
Yeah, like 20 minutes.
Yeah, like she's gonna have to give some of that because they got to find a way to make up for what they are losing with Fee out.
Yeah.
And we know that Phoenix is gonna smell blood in the water because they're gonna be like, okay,
They're gonna be hungry.
your best players out, we at home. This is our chance to close the door. But as we saw, y'all, Minnesota can win some damn games without Fee. We saw it. So
And I think in a way it's weird because like Minnesota might have a slight advantage with knowing how to play without Fee, and Phoenix not knowing how to play this Minnesota team without a Fee. Because I want to say Fee's been involved in all of their matchups. And so I feel like Minnesota having those games without Fee are going to help them in this game, but it also might throw Phoenix off because typically sometimes when you don't know how to scout a team without their star player, it can throw you off a little bit. And I know they got some film on them, but it's different when you on the court versus watching it.
So did they ever meet up while they were without Fee?
maybe once.
Maybe, but I think a lot of their games was earlier in the season, so I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna be good. I mean, Phoenix has all the advantages, but that's kind of where you could trip yourself up because you know you had the advantage. Like they can't get caught up in the oh well, we gonna win because they best player out. You got to go out there and beat them. Like Minnesota, not just gonna lay down. And to them, Minnesota's mindset is probably like, shit. If we force a game 5 at home and Caleb McBride get on a heater, anything could happen.
Exactly. So
like they have to be thinking, let's close this out.
Absolutely. Because I think the momentum is on their side. After they came back from down 20, I think I might have tweeted this. I don't know. I might have just thought it in my head, but I was like, I fear the momentum has shifted to Phoenix. Because I think you can lose a game by 2, make it tough, and maybe the momentum kind of stalls in the middle a little bit. But for Phoenix to come back in that game down 20 and win the way they did at your house, I think it just switched a gear in Phoenix's head. Like, nah, y'all put y'all pants on the same way we do. Like, you got hoopers, I got hoopers too. Like, we finna hoop. Because when you watch that third game, Phoenix was like, no bullshit. Like, I'm coming after you the same way you coming after me. I'm attacking you the same way you attacking me. I'm not even thinking about it. And so I think the same thing can happen in this game, right? If Minnesota wins without Fee in your house and they're going home, that's a momentum shifter. Like, I'm feeling good about myself. So if you're Phoenix, you gotta handle business.
One thing I do want to mention is that the first time they played, Fee did not play, and Minnesota won in Phoenix.
Obviously, was everybody available for Phoenix though?
Huh?
Was everybody available for Phoenix though?
No. So there was, so no AT, no Kai either. So otherwise Minnesota won the regular season series 3-1. The one time the Mercury did win was like that game where AT went nuts. But AT had like 29 and 8. Jesus.
Damn. You let AT drop 29 on your head?
Yeah, like damn.
Hold on, wait a minute. AT also gonna have to do her big one today. I think like that matchup.
That's right. Yeah, the Heidemann.
For them, this would be good because if they win today, they get the rest. And then if it ends up being either way, they're kind of because Phoenix is next door to Vegas. And then they're a much closer flight, obviously, to Vegas than Indiana. But no, if Indiana wins, they host. And so they already have that rest. They're already home. Or if they do have to go on the road, they have the rest, but then they take a 45-minute flight. So it's not a lot of travel. Obviously, there's the time you have to go to the airport, wait, all that type stuff. But they would probably want the rest. And especially with them being...
Because it's a 7-game series. Hell yeah, you want the rest. Like, it's 7 games.
And it's older. They're older as well. Like, most of their heavy minute players are older. And we talk about what's her name? Sister Westbeld, even though she's a rookie, she's older. So you have Dawana, AT, Sammy, Ka, Satu with her injury history. Like those are some older bodies there. So it'll be interesting to see how this happens tonight. But like you said, we've seen over the season and over the years in the W, stranger things have happened. We've seen the Aces get blown out without a fully loaded Mystic squad. Sorry, Shay. We've seen. I remember South Carolina. Missouri was down all them bodies during COVID, and they beat South Carolina.
That's what somebody asked me that, and I said, like when it comes to series, it's one thing, but sometimes a wounded dog that's like in a corner,
yeah,
they put up the best fights sometime. And so when you ain't got like shit to lose, and you scrapping and you fighting because you didn't like the way you lost that last game, you feel some type of way because like do I think what AT did was intentional? No. But we've heard players like Kobe, Michael Jordan, even DT talk about how they make up shit in their head just to get them, get them through. So like, was it intentional by AT? No, but I'm gonna tell myself that motherfucker took my best player out. Like she hurt my dog, so I'm coming after her. You know what I'm saying? So when it's those little things like that, anything can happen. Like really,
well, you know what, Asia Sophie said you trash. Yeah, she said that. Go ahead, make something up in your head.
Right.
It reminds me of when Ju got hurt and USC was just like, fuck it. Like Kennedy turned into the best Juju clone she could. She was just like, fuck it, we gonna go hoop. I don't know.
Like we gotta do this shit for our player. Like we gotta do this for our girls. So sometimes that literally do be enough. Like sometimes. So
do y'all think the Lynx players may feel some type of pressure, though they play without feet? This is a different level. Would it be in the playoffs? I don't think the pressure is on Minnesota at all. Not at all. There's some pressure on them because obviously number one seed, title favorite, this, that, and the third. But now that you've lost your best player, the pressure is on Phoenix.
If Fee was still healthy, I would say the pressure.
Oh, for sure.
Minnesota. And
if Fee was healthy,
felt that because everybody had them making it to the next round with ease. But now that Fee is out, I think there's more like mental gymnastics that they just have to go through of being the wounded dog in the corner, fighting for your teammates and stuff like that. That will get them over the pressure of being,
It's like a technical. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know what the science is behind technical fouls and how the team that's assessed the tech always typically goes on their march or scramble plays. I don't know how on scramble plays, and Indiana gets a lot of them. For some reason, when you scramble on a play, you always end up, I won't say always, but there's a high chance of you making that basket. We've seen it. Lexi be knocking all them fucking shots down for the Fever when they're scrambling. So
they're like energy plays. They're like, it's something that
adrenaline, they have the green light or whatever. Thank you, Rachel. We're glad to be back too. Stay tuned because
she said surprise. She didn't say glad. I was surprised.
We surprised too. Hell, no, we're not. But yeah, so this is going to be a good series tonight. Hopefully the refs don't try to overcompensate because we have seen that happen. We do understand that there are dog whistles that oftentimes players and coaches can release that usually it's in their benefit. So yeah, I just want a good game. I want a good game. When it comes to game 5, for the Aces, either way I win. Shout out to the Gamecocks. And then if it comes to this side, I think that all the AT stands and going back to the disrespected era in Connecticut will be happy to see her really get a chance to win a ring.
Thank you, Rachel. Don tweeted it and I agree. Like I can't lose. I'm a South Carolina girly, so
yeah.
South Carolina player gonna be in the finals regardless. So
yeah, and then if they win, even better.
Exactly. I still got narratives to push. I don't care. But
and narrative number 1 is gonna be Bree Hall.
National champion Bree Hall that goes to the Final Four every year and yeah, girl. I got the narratives ready to push. Okay.
Any questions y'all have for us before we wrap it up? Let y'all have a few minutes back and so y'all can go and watch game 5 or prepare to get your drinks. Who's on the call? Oh, it should be a good one because that's is that Carolyn and Angel?
I thought Carolyn's in the studio.
Because Mark did football last night. I don't know if he's I don't know if he flew back to Phoenix. Either way,
y'all got South Carolina recruiting updates?
I have no. Who do I have for game 5? So I want
LaChina and
Vegas.
Pam.
I'm not gonna hold y'all. I want Vegas because yes, I did say I'm a South Carolina girly, so I don't care who wins, but I do want Vegas because it would be dope if Asia had like a MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, championship type of season. That I don't think that's ever really been done before. So that would be kind of cool. So I'm gonna go with Vegas. They're at home. They should be hungry.
Which one you said?
They said game
MVP?
5.
No, you said MVP.
Oh, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, a Finals MVP.
Oh, and okay, gotcha. She
all
was
in
close
one
to
year.
getting it in 2022.
I don't think that's ever happened before. So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Asia's post-game comments? I think it was necessary. About time. Like Asia began beat up in the paint. And I think B kind of hinted at it already. Those little like dog whistles, those nuggets you got to throw out there because it'll make the refs adjust how they play. If y'all remember the second game, Asia went to the free throw line probably like 8 or 9 times that game, and she hooped. Vegas won. Right after that game, Stephanie White was like, it's hard to get in the rhythm when they're calling all these fouls. It's hard to defend Asia when they're calling all these fouls, blah, blah, blah. Since that comment, Asia's only been to the free throw line like 4 or 5 times, So, like, it's Becky's turn now, and Asia, to be like, I mean, look at the free throw count, 34-13. That's pretty insane. Like, some of those fouls were ridiculous, especially if you're not calling out on the other end. So, I think it was necessary. And so, we'll see.
And the only reason that it happened in game 3 that Aces ended up getting all those fouls because they were trying to extend the game, hoping
Right.
that Vegas would pick them. So, yeah. It'll be interesting. Will they actually officiate properly game 5? Because that was a game 4. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure if they've been assigned yet, because they said that they were swapped. I don't know if it was a
Which
last
is
minute.
weird. Has that ever happened before? Like just swapping? Were they like afraid or something of the refs getting jumped? Like I'm just confused. I've never heard of refs like swapping series.
Yeah.
Mid-series. That's weird to me.
She said, "Y'all were shitty here. Come be shitty over there."
Thank you, NBA mixtapes.
Thank you, NBA mixtape.
Why so much hate for AB, even from South Carolina fans on X? Yana.
Can I just say that for starters, y'all, everybody is not a South Carolina fan on Twitter. Let's start there. I think sometimes everybody thinks everyone is a South Carolina fan, and they're not. Some people simply might just be Asia fans. Like Asia has a goated resume. Her fandom is way beyond South Carolina fandom. She's grown past just having South Carolina fans in her corner. So just because you see somebody standing Asia, it doesn't mean that they're a South Carolina fan. So let's start there. Why so much hate for AB? Honestly, I don't know. I don't hate her, so I can't answer that question for why everybody else feels that way. I know some people don't like her aggressiveness and they think she hooks. I do think that Aaliyah gets away with holding down and clamping on people's arms when they're battling in the paint, and it leads to some questionable foul calls. I do think she gets away with that. But like I said earlier today, I think that players will do what you allow them to do. And so if the ref is going to allow you to do it, she's not going to stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? So if the refs call that, she'll switch it up. But if like the same with screens, like I can say Asia typically sticks her hip out when she sets a screen. Like 9 times out of 10, when Asia sets that screen, she sticks her hip out and it doesn't get called. She's not going to stop doing it because it doesn't get called. So I know a lot of people don't like Aaliyah's aggressiveness, but I kind of like it because I feel like when she came into the league, everybody was trying to punk her. Like Aaliyah came into the league and she was too soft, and everybody kept saying Aaliyah's too soft. She's too soft. She's too soft. And now she bucking back a little bit, and everybody's like, I don't like it. So I can't tell you why people hate Aaliyah. I don't hate her. I think she's great. I love what she's doing. I do think that she's going to have to remove that clamping down out of her game. But I think as long as refs don't call it, she probably won't. I don't like to see it. But if the refs are going to allow it, then the refs are going to allow it. So
And I also think, yes, we say, I think the tweet said, even from South Carolina fans, calling certain things out doesn't mean that you dislike a player. Now we also, and like Yana said, everybody that is a fan of Asia or Leash or anyone else doesn't mean that they're necessarily a South Carolina fan. Everyone in the committee also isn't a South Carolina fan. So just because you can appreciate certain players or they're a fan of certain players doesn't mean that they're inherently, I guess, fans of an entire program. Now, with that being said, I do think that the hate train for Aaliyah comes from certain pockets of social media because how she may have played against their faves, and people who've aligned themselves with the players that she's played against or the destinations that she's turned down. Let that simmer however you may. So we see a lot of mainly two different programs who spew a lot of these hate trains towards anything Aaliyah related. And it's more than just basketball. It comes into misogyny. It comes into colorism. It comes into all the things, the isms and G's that take away from what she does on the court. Because like Dolores says many times, she's probably top 3, top 5 centers in the game. So you can never talk about what she does on the court because, yeah, she may drive a hole right through your chest, but AT does the same thing. So don't allow certain people, because of their agendas against her that stem from college, to cause you or cause the masses to think that everyone just hates Aaliyah. You got to understand sometimes who those conversations are coming from.
And I do want to address two things. Someone said, I wish she'd go back to playing and not arguing. So here's my thing about that. I think every player talks to the ref. I feel like a lot of y'all highlight one player talking to the ref, but every player in the league talks to the ref. Literally, Asia
does it.
Jackie, she'll be talking to the refs. Like every player, if they feel like they've been fouled, will talk to refs. I think you guys see it more on social media because it's become something that people decide to clip and pull constantly to say, look at Aaliyah whining to the ref, look at Aaliyah whining to the ref. But every player in the league, everybody, if you're watching all the games, all of them complain and whine to the refs. All of them think they are being fouled. All of them wish they got a foul call that didn't get called or got fouled. And like y'all literally hype up Skylar for doing this every game. Like literally, Skylar gets hyped for doing this every single game. Literally. Like,
and I think it's where she plays too.
Like it just, and I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Keep it. Actually, it came to me while B was talking.
It's
one of the reasons I don't fuck with Aaliyah, like one of the reasons why people don't fuck with Aaliyah is because Cassandra, I agree, she argues every foul call, but so does every other player. Like, I'm sorry, they do. Every player in the W don't think they foul. Every player in the W thinks they get fouled every possession, and they all argue it. Like everybody does. But like I say, when people are just clipping one person constantly over and over again, and that's the consumption that you're seeing constantly, and that's what you're looking for every game, because she annoys you every game with arguing for every foul call, you look for it every game. But you don't look for it for other players. You look for it for her because it bothers you, and that's the difference. You look for it with her. And I also think one of the reasons why people don't like her is because of association to the team that she's on right now. And
exactly.
That's what it is. A lot of y'all don't like her because of the team she's on. And you can say, nah, that's not true. What it is. You don't like her because of the team that she's on. I can separate it because I know that Aaliyah did not choose to go to Indiana. Aaliyah got drafted by Indiana. She got drafted by Indiana before all those players came to that team. She had no choice but to stay there. She on a contract. Like, there's a lot of us that work with people that, like, let's be real. A lot of us work with people like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that sometimes on social media, we hold a lot of the Black women in the W accountable for their white counterparts. And I don't think that's fair all of the time. Like, I genuinely just don't think that's fair all of the time.
Prime example, last thing on this, like Yana said, because Aaliyah being in Indiana, her whining has been a little exacerbated or the attention to it. But then also, the minute people will gladly take her on their team. I remember one of the people who are considered the GOATs of the league is known to also be a whiner. But the minute she hopped her ass in Vegas, I didn't give a damn about that damn whining. Shout out to Candace Parker. Come on, baby. Yes, whine. Complain on every foul call because, yes, it is in our benefit. So, like, I just think that we just have to really be able to separate all of those things and call it for what it is. The minute she would have hopped on Chicago, or if she goes to New York or anywhere else, oh, I love Aaliyah. She's a dog. She's one of the best. But while she's there playing with Caitlyn and Sophie and everyone else, it's going to always be an issue.
And I think Lo might have mentioned this on a Spaces before, and I don't want to like quote her wrong, but I think when you like look at the trajectory of Aaliyah's career, she's been like, you know, like she's been someone that people have made fun of and no one had her back when it came to like media. So like even down to the crying meme in college, right? I think South Carolina fans had her back, but she was made a mockery of like after the crying meme, right? She gets to the pros and she's too soft, she's too this, and she can't do this right, she can't do that right. And I kind of like, I've seen some people say Aaliyah's changed since she got to Indiana, but what I see is somebody embracing their villain era. I think Aaliyah has turned into the villain, and I think she's embracing it. I don't have a problem with it because I think this is where she's at. And if she got to be the villain, she got to be the villain. And that don't mean the villain ain't going, you know, talk to the refs and complain about shit, like, because that's still hoops. But she's embracing her villain era right now.
It's that year 3 for centers. If you look at centers or post players, their year 3s are one of those ones that either get you an MVP or it really puts you into those conversations.
And low key, I don't know how much y'all really been around throughout Asia's career, but Asia kind of had to become a villain too, because like a lot of the post players did not welcome Asia with open arms when Asia got to the W. Like a lot of them did not. Asia had to turn that shit up on them. Like Asia had to turn into a villain. Asia had to start talking shit. Asia was taking that shit through their chest. Asia had to turn into the villain. Like she really did. There just wasn't as many eyes on the W at the time for her to be judged by it. But before Asia got to where she is right now, where she's like loved by everyone, and well, I wouldn't say everyone, but you know what I'm saying? Like she's loved. Asia had to turn into that villain in order to get the respect she needed from a lot of the post players in the W, because the post players in the W did not welcome her with open arms at all.
And to be honest, it was really, I mean, yes, she won MVP in 2020, but it really wasn't until like 2021 because she used to get texts in the bubble for everything. There were no superstar calls. I remember the time she looked back at the ref maybe and they gave her a text. So like she had to get that shit out the mud.
Right.
So, as a non-South Carolina, non-Fever, non-Aces person, I'm just going to say that I think that AB is extremely physical, and you have to be able to be successful at this position in this league. I also think that part of it too is, and the thing that people are alluding to in the comments is that she's taking on some of the identity of the Fever as a team, and you can interpret that whichever way you want to. But yeah, I also think that the refs have just been shitty in general, because if they had done a better job of controlling the games, I think we'd have less of these conversations, but they've just been terrible. Absolutely. So, and they've been shitty all year. It hasn't just started in the playoffs. So to Tiana's point, if you're going to let her hook and grab shoulders or whatever, she going to do it. Like same with AT. AT going to run through somebody's fucking face because nobody calls it. So
I mean, even at just outside of people gonna do what you allow them to do. Like if you allow to run through somebody's chest every game when I'm in a fast break, I'm going to run through your chest every game when I'm in a fast break. If you're gonna allow me to do this, I'm gonna do that because you're telling me it's fine. So that's like you gotta take that up with the refs. The refs gotta do a better job of controlling the game and stopping things from happening. But if they're not,
yeah, I mean, we've seen AT run people over her whole career. It is like ain't nobody done shit about it. So they
just call it an engine and laugh.
Yep. One thing I will say about that game 5, I think it's going to be very similar to that Seattle one, where it's going to take everything the Aces have to win, because Indiana has nothing to lose. They're going to be loose. They're going to be, okay, well, shit, nobody expected us to be here anyway. So they just going to go out and play.
That's what I'm
Versus the
afraid of.
Aces have all of the expectation, all of the pressure, all of the everything. And it took every bit of Asia, everything she had, to get out of that Seattle series. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same way.
I agree.
Yep.
That's what made that series so tough, because Indiana is playing. They're playing with house money. Like nobody expects us to be here. We can go out there and just fight, battle, scratch, claw. So
y'all asked about, in the comments. Y'all asked about playing time. Who's playing time? Y'all asked about. Oh, about why Cheyenne doesn't play. To me personally, I just think that's a lot to ask for somebody that just started playing basketball like 3 weeks ago. Like, this is a different level of basketball.
I think
her first game was what, the 9th? Yeah, her first game was the 9th. So and then you're playing against a team that's quick. Indiana's bigs are mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Like every last one of them can get up and down the court. Like Aaliyah is the bigger big on that squad, but Aaliyah, Turner, and Howard and Timpson can all sprint up and down that court. Obviously, if they make it to the next round, it could be a little different. It's a little bit more of a physical team, not as like quick around. I mean, outside of like maybe Sammy and Ka, but you got a little bit more sturdy presence in the paint with Mac, with AT. Sometimes she's just gonna spin and run through you. And I'm not thinking ahead saying that they're going to win tonight, but it's the same thing with Minnesota as well. So I think those will be like the matchups that work best for Cheyenne. She gets to be a little bit more blocky, a little bit more sturdy compared to chasing up and down these girls on the field.
I wouldn't mind them giving her a try though. Like I feel like
definitely get you some
like
point.
Game 5 might not be the time anymore, but I wouldn't have mind them at least giving her a try at least during one of these 4 games, just to see if there's something she can give you, even if it's like in a minute spurt. Like if you're gonna give KB 2 minutes to start the second half and the first half, you can try Cheyenne out for at least 1 minute to see if she can give you something, because she might be able to give you something.
I would say give her a couple minutes at the beginning in the first half, because you still got a whole another 20 minutes. See how she fits in that first half Tuesday night, and then if it's not working, then it's like, all right, like okay, well we tried.
But Becky got to be quick though. Becky's sitting shitty lineups way too long. Like it got to be. Hey, you got to get off the floor. Like, it is what we can't be playing she can't coach and do minutes to people's egos. Like, Julie's had a great career. I understand she makes the most money. Dana got to play. Sorry. Dana has to play.
Dana has given too much offensively, and even with the little mental mishaps that Dana have, I just think that you eat that at this point, because what she gives you defensively and offensively, she's one of the fewer guards that can stay in front of Kelsey Mitchell. Her and Jackie, they're the only ones who can stay in front of Kelsey Mitchell as best as they can. And then if the switch happens and you end up on Odyssey Sims, she can stay in front of Odyssey. Like too many times in this game, you could tell that Indiana was just taking turns on Chelsea and Jewel. Like it was just like, Jewel's on me, I'm going to the rim. Chelsea's on me, I'm going to the rim. Backdoor, boom, whatever. It didn't matter. Like I think Dana gives you too much for her to only play 13 minutes and Jewel to play 32. Like that is insane.
Right. And that's self-inflicted. Like if somebody said, even Coach White said they have trouble slowing down Dana. Yeah. So if you aren't going to play her 15, 20 minutes a game, you helping me out. You doing me a favor. I'm not Fever are not scared of Jewel. They're not. Sorry. But all right, it's 4 minutes till game 4. So who y'all got? Who wins tonight?
I'm going to go with a close game, and Phoenix closes it out.
I think Phoenix closes it out as well.
I'm going to say Minnesota fucks around and makes it fun.
I'm with it. I'm for it.
I think DB has a really good game tonight because she hasn't necessarily been the best this series. I think
necessarily you could have just said she ain't been the best this series. You were like, she's been awful.
She's been great rebounding. Like, she has been killing it, rebounding and defending and using her length. But baby, when it gets to the offense, pass the rock and let you open. My God.
Yeah.
Nah, even if you open,
all of that jabbing and hesitate when you 30 feet behind the three, like come on.
I'm ready to call for
your whole body go in, like just.
I've been calling for retirement since listen, it might be time.
What, because she's is she
like the oldest? No, Alicia Clark might be the oldest.
Alicia Clark and her. So yeah, because she's 09. She's 09. So yeah, so she's been in Jesus, I mean, I'm okay. But I was only been running up and down. So
but I think the energy, like if the energy is good and you get, because last game I think they got a really good game from Ka, but I don't think Satu really hooped like that. And Satu hasn't, similar to Asia, Satu hasn't had back-to-back bad games a lot during these playoffs in general. So if you can get Ka to go off and Satu, and you get Sammy Whitcomb to knock down some, it's lights out.
I'm crying that old ass. Mike, please.
Ignore that.
All right, so in the chat, I got Phoenix.
Satu had 8 points to the fourth. Yeah, I didn't think she was playing that well.
I'm glad we get a game on
Tuesday. I agree. Meg should not have finished that game. That's also Becky's fault. And Alyssa should have came back in. She had one more foul to go.
At that point, just let her
rock out.
Mercury, everybody got, okay, we going to find out. Phoenix for sure.
Well, we think.
I do want to address this.
Mercury. Okay, go ahead.
I know people have said, I've seen some people mention that they want to give Kia a try. I'm impartial to it because I do think what Kia can give you defensively would be nice. However, I think what's worked for Vegas in this series offensively is the paint being wide open. Like Asia having the ability to kind of drive around Aaliyah and get that shot up, or Jackie, whenever she decides to be aggressive, get to the rim. Dana, get to the rim. That's been working for them. And I think when you put Kia in the game, all that's gone because they are not going to guard her. They will sit half in, half out that paint, and your paint becomes clogged. And so you just got to decide, is it worth, is it worth giving up that space in the paint for Asia to do what she can do, and Jackie and Dana to do what they can do, because that's really what's been working for you this entire series. So anybody but Meg, that's Vegas' whole bench, in my opinion. Anybody but Autumn.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, the real problem here is that Vegas is thin when they have to sub, and they have a lot of players who maybe can give you something one way but can't do it the other way. And then Vegas has this thing similar to South Carolina this past year where it's like, can everybody play well all on the same day at the same time? Like, it's like Asia will play well, but then everybody else gets shit. And it's just like, if they can get everybody to play well together, the sky's the limit for them. Like Yana said earlier, the path is right there. Like, it's right there. You either going to take it or you're going to spend the whole offseason regretting that you didn't, because it ain't going to get no easier.
After the season, for all teams, like, that's probably why Cheryl crashed out, because, like, everything's in front of them to win, and it's not easy to win. So you got to take it when it's sitting right in front of you.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, B. Give us the sign off.
All right. Well, we thank you all for tuning in. Go ahead and lock into Game 4, coming live to you from Phoenix. I don't know what channel it's on. It's on ABC or ABC.
ESPN.
Oh, ESPN.
ESPN. Whatever.
It is on ESPN, and it has shaped up to be a good one. We'll see if we get more whispering and kissing in the ears of from Kai and Court. And will the stud buds rise up, or will there be an unsung hero tonight's game? So, as always, thank y'all for listening. Thank us for speaking. Peace.